And once again, it's a pleasure to welcome you back to the Trackmania Live. And once again, it's a pleasure to welcome to a ZrT Cup special. Today, we will do the interviews with the 6 players I interviewed last time, but also this episode, I have the pleasure of talking with ZeratoR. But first of all, he might be the guest that has been on the most since the new game was out. It's Yannex. Yannex, welcome back. I understand that you are streaming as well. I already said hello to your stream, but I can say officially hello to your stream and hello to you. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Just that the ZRT the semifinal didn't go that well because I was maybe putting too much pressure on myself, and I learned from it. But other than that, I'm just I'm really good.
Hmm. Yeah, now it's Wednesday, so the final was on Sunday. Is it like you're disappointed now? Have you moved away from that? What feeling do you have on this Wednesday?
I'm feeling great. I just did a two days break from Trackmania just because I know lived a bit the new game since it released, and so it was good to take a two days break. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Can't wait to discover editor and just the new game. Play the new game.
Hmm. But if you then go into the semifinals, I think people maybe might see that semifinal as maybe the most unlucky for you because in the end it was Gwen winning and CarlJr being second at the cup, and you had to play both of them in the semifinal. But before it started, did you have a like? How high would you say that your chances was of qualifying? Did you think that it was realistic? Was it impossible? What was your mindset going into that semifinal?
My mindset going into this was I knew Carl Jr. and Gwen will take it. Like no matter Mm, no
Salute,
matter
salute.
how I'll play it. Like I have I was trained, but they are just too good, to be
Mm,
honest. And I was like, maybe I will do third or fourth, like third at my best, and fourth if I'm just risking it too much, and that's what I did.
mm. But that semifinal was pretty, what to say, one-sided. It was pretty much Gwen and CarlJr from the start. But did you think during the match itself that, oh no, it's all already over, or did you still have like anything can happen until the end, so I don't have to give up?
Uh, to be honest, after two maps, there was already a big gap, and I knew after two or three maps that they they were qualified.
Hmm. But now looking into the motivation you had from this cup, how would you say that the overall experience has been? I mean, you qualified to the semi-final. That's already a strong achievement. So if you look back at this event as a whole, are you happy with what you achieved?
Yeah, I'm really happy. I I did a great rounds for qualifying to the semi. Just that, yeah, the semifinal I could have done better with maybe a better mindset, and maybe just play my game and not thinking about what people think, etc. That was my problem during the semifinal. I was thinking, yeah, what people like, there were more than 100,000 uh people watching, so that was a bit hard
Hmm.
about that. But other than that, the whole tournament was like really great.
Yeah, but how are you then gonna try to maybe change that for next event? Like, because in the back of your head, there's always gonna be like, okay, it's a ZrT Cup, it's a Trackmania Grande, so people are gonna watch you. Do you think that how will you eventually try to learn from that? So maybe you are like, I don't know, Gwen, who said he only thought about this as a normal match. He didn't care about saying that it was a ZrT Cup. He was like, it felt like a normal match since it's online, so you can sort of distance yourself from the viewers instead of in front of a stage. Then it's impossible, right?
Yeah, in front of a stage it's different, but I just learned from it. Like when I will play the matches, I will be okay. Don't think about anything. Just play my game. That's all I have to think about.
Hmm. But then you got knocked out in a semi-final. Was it like then, okay, I'm going to leave Trackmania that day, or did you still watch the grand final between Gwen, CarlJr, Bren and Aurel?
I still watched the final, of course.
And
Yeah,
what did you think about it?
it was really good. I don't. It was a final. Like until the end, we didn't know if maybe Bren will take it or Gwen or CarlJr. Like it was really good.
Hmm. Yeah, but before that grand final, did you have any favorites? Did you think that anybody could win it, or if so, who was your favorite?
I thought about CarlJr. taking it. I thought he was better at like high pressure situation, maybe better than CarlJr. But Gwen deserved it
Hmm.
after all.
Yeah, what can you say about Gwen? I think this year is no longer a meme that he's a good player. Now he's won the ZrT Trackmania Cup. But if you think into the future, do you think that you're going to play against him in Trackmania Grand League? Do you think he's going to be the favorite there? Do you think still CarlJr is the favorite? Who do you think is going to be the favorite coming up for next events?
I think maybe CarlJr. wants to revenge or
Yeah.
redeem. I think it's not. We can't say like yeah, Gwen is gonna win it all. Like we still have some very talented players like Pac, etc. in Trackmania Grand League that didn't participated in ZRT. So we'll see.
Hmm.
But it's gonna be great matches in
Hmm.
TMGL.
Yeah, and talking about TMGL, that is probably your next big goal. What goal do you have for that? Do you have a goal for it? Is it just going to be fun? Can you tell people what is your expectations for the Trackmania Grand League?
My goal this time, I will put myself a goal as I'm not used to. I usually say yeah, I just play my game and we'll see. But this time, my goal is top 8, like playoffs, and
Hmm.
that's it.
And do you think that's possible? Do you think it's reachable? How would you say if that was a bet? What would you say the odds? How high are your chances to be top 8?
I want to say that I want to say that it's very possible.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very possible. Yeah.
I'm gonna focus the new maps. The game like suits me, and I'm gonna try hard and see. Yeah.
Yeah, I also had that. I think that all the three Open Grand League players are going to be top 8, both you, Gwen, and Afi, because you seem more motivated than these old players. So I also have you at top 8 just to make some extra pressure there. But if you talk about the 2021 edition of the ZrT Trackmania Cup, can you tell, is that maybe already the biggest goal in your career to qualify? Let's say if you were top 8 this year and if Accor Hotels Arena was there, you would be playing in front of 15,000 people. How would that feel for you?
I I don't know. That would be I I can't say anything because I don't know the feeling that would provide me.
Yeah.
Like it would be insane. That's all I have to say. I could tell you the feeling that it is after it, but right now I can't.
But can you then say, do you already see that as your biggest goal in your career to qualify for it, or is it just going to be like what to say, a bonus if you qualify to that event?
Uh, I'm I want to qualify, but the problem is that we don't know yet if it's in duo or solo, and I prefer solo to be honest. Um, but we'll see. It's not my main goal at the moment. I'm gonna focus TMGL and see maybe in April it will be my main goal. But in my opinion, it's gonna be a bonus. Like I'm
Hmm.
gonna participate and do my best, and if I qualify, it's good.
Thanks so much for stepping up once again. I might promise you a little break from the Trackmania Live now, unless you do something crazy, then I have to call you back on. But if people in my chat want to follow Yannex is actually streaming now, so you can go. What are you doing at the moment? Checking out the Trackmania Grand League
I'm
map, or
discovering the new maps. Yeah.
And first impression so far? How much have you played? What is your first impression of it?
So I played only the first one and the second one, and for the moment the first one was really good. The viewer thought that it was a bit flat, like not very spectacular. And the second one is a bit. I don't know yet. I just played 6 laps and I don't have a like clear lines, so we'll see. But I think with training and stuff, it's gonna be alright.
Hmm. And actually, one last question from my chat is from Cams. He's asking, any news about an org? Is it when are you joining an org? Are you joining an org? Are you orgless? Do you have any news to us?
So I'm discussing with some orgs, and we'll see. Maybe a future infos.
Then you're
Yeah,
coming back on the Trackmania Live, right?
yeah, why not?
That's it. And that's it for today with the Yannex. But next up after Yannex is actually ZeratoR. So stay tuned. And if you want to watch Yannex play Trackmania Grand League, it's twitch.tv/Yannex there. Once again, a pleasure, Yannex. And thanks so much for stepping up once again.
Yeah, thank you for this interview, and can't wait to come back. Sorry.
That's it for today. A little break now, and then ZeratoR is up next. It's a pleasure to welcome the guy behind this event. It's the 8th edition, and safe to say, in my eyes, it might actually be the most successful edition. I don't know if you agree, but just looking at the numbers, how it went, new game, a lot of hype, a new champion. But I guess we talk a lot about that later. But first of all, the most important thing, ZeratoR, welcome. How are you now after the 8th edition of the Cup is over?
Thank you, Eirik. I'm really fine. That was a really tough edition for me, and I think for Nadeo, but it went good at the end. So I think it was a great success. Yeah, you said it by the number of viewers, but yeah, I'm really happy about this edition.
Yeah, if we just talk about this edition first and then maybe go back to the story of how everything was cancelled. But talking about this edition first, how is the first impression now on a Wednesday after the weekend is over? Are you pleased with how it feels? Are you somewhat like, the spectating bug on the semi-final was ruining it? What is the first impression you have?
Well, everyone had a little fear about the spectating bug, in semifinals, but it went really good. I think the best thing I have to say is, fortunately, we didn't have the Bercy final this year because the game was not ready. I think this is really the main thought about everything. I am really excited about Bercy. In May in 2021, because this will be a really new game with new blocks and new stuff, and with my experience of the game and Nadeo too. So I think this is really the first thought I have to think about.
Yeah, that is something also my mother taught me. Like, you should always pick long-term happiness over short-term happiness.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
it's sad to not see it this year, but just gonna get more hype for next year, and we just know that next year is gonna be better. But looking at this year, if you talk about the qualifications first, what is your takeaway from it? My takeaway was basically that it was so French dominated, basically 6 French players, and then you have CarlJr, who is somewhat adopted in France, and Yannex, who is also somewhat French. What is your takeaway?
Yeah, we had 6,000 players, so it's really huge. Even if we had only 4,000 players participating on the last day, but yeah, this was really French dominating cup. I don't know why. Maybe because the game was so fresh and we did a really great push of communication in France with my stream, etc. Even if we saw that Lyric and big US streamer streamed it, you already said that in your Twitter. I saw it with the stats of every stream, etc. So yeah, it was a really great push and really great start for the new Trackmania. But yeah, we had a lot of French player. I cannot really explain why. I really don't know myself, but honestly, the game has a really great success in France. So maybe this is the main explanation.
But also a takeaway I had was that this is a new game, so I thought it was been more new players. But you know it, you have hosted these cups, you have seen CarlJr, you've seen Bren, Papou, Aurel, Bad Lulu. So
Yeah.
did you expect more new players to actually qualify into the semifinals and the final?
I have to say yes. I was expecting more new players, but we had 2 new players in semifinal. That's a beginning. We'll see after 6 or 7 months if approximately 1 year of training will be enough to reach CarlJr, to reach Gwen. Now I don't really. I really don't know what will be the scene of Trackmania in 6 or 7 months. This will be the main interest of April, May. So yeah, we'll see if it's only French focus at this time, or maybe more international player. But you know, now you have also the TMGL, who is really international. So maybe international player who, I don't know, don't like the RT style, maybe are focused on TMGL. Maybe that's why it's so French, but this is not a problem for me.
But then if you look at the semifinals after the qualifications was over, what semifinals did you think was going to be the most exciting? Did you think that maybe the first semifinal because maybe a closer level? Did you think the battle between Gwen and CarlJr? What semifinal did you somewhat feel the most hyped about casting?
I don't really know. After, I can say maybe the first, because it was really close, and as a caster, I always like close match. That's obvious. But the second semifinal, I think showed that CarlJr was also dominating this game. So this was really impressive because I didn't really know what was going on with CarlJr. Was he really focused on that game or not? So yeah, that was a really good proof that CarlJr. is still here and ready to fight.
And then I quickly want to just talk about the first semifinals. I didn't understand it because I don't speak French, but it was looking like the spectating bug. Can you tell the English community or the international community what went through your head when it was like, oh no, I cannot spectate Aurel, and then afterwards it was like, oh no, I cannot spectate Bren either.
Yeah, it was really strange because I never experienced a bug like that in Trackmania. So at the beginning, you're not always sure because you're like, is it a cheat? Is it a bug? Is it an exploit? You don't really know. And then I really understood that it was a bug because you saw the CP and the time, the correct time with Aurel. So I was like, okay, this is the first semi. But the most surprising was this didn't happen in quarterfinal, eighth final, etc. So I was like, okay, what is the difference? Why do we have this bug now? And Hillis told me that they pushed a patch where they had this bug, so they had to fix it live, and it worked. So that was great. But yeah, I was really I don't know. I was surprised. You know, you see someone on a wall and turning, and you're like, okay, he's driving. I think so. I'm not sure about this. And then he comes first. So you're like, okay, he's first, but he's on the wall. Maybe that's normal. I don't know. And then on the ice map, La Reine des Neiges, where everyone was not on the correct place. So I am like, okay, Bren is not here. Aurel is not at this place. Okay, what is happening right now? And I think it was just Papou. Papou was at the correct place, I think. And he finished like second, but you have someone first, someone just behind him, but you can see no one. It was really strange. But we didn't have this in final. So yeah, it was fixed really quickly. That was a really great success for Nadeo.
Yeah, because let's say that was happening in the final. Do you think that maybe the cup could have been somewhat, I don't know, broken or have some sort of shadow over it?
I don't know. This was really, for me, this was like a beta cup, you know? This was a stress test. This was a try. And I think everyone understood it with that new game, with that new server side, etc. So this was really complicated, and we can't cancel everything. We can like say, okay, let's do this. Let's do this the next weekend. No, yeah. we can't do that. So yeah, if we had this bug in final, I think we would have to play. I don't know. I don't really know, but it was fixed. So
yeah, exactly.
There was no problem. You know, that's really cool for me. There was absolutely no problem in final.
But then going into the grand final, we saw that three sort of veterans of this cup, CarlJr playing for the 7th time, Gwen for the 6th time, and Aurel for the 4th time. But then there was a player who was there for the first time. It was Gwen. He was in Strasbourg last year, but sadly he didn't qualify to the grand final. Yep. Had a hard time backstage, but now he was in the grand final. Before that grand final, how did you view the player's skill level? Who do you have as a potential winner in your eyes?
So we did a round series before the cup, I think 1 week before or maybe 2, and Gwen was really successful during this training, and I was like, okay, but how will it be the D-Day? So yeah. I wasn't sure about how can he make it through the final because of last year, as you said it, but we really saw that he was really strong. So I was really confident about Gwen, and I was like, Gwen is really strong this year. Can he beat CarlJr? We don't really know. CarlJr is at his most powerful level. I mean, we didn't know. So before the final, honestly, I couldn't say who could win that. I mean, I was focused on Bren, CarlJr, but this is every year, you know. This is every year. You have the same player in this head, and then we had the semi with Gwen. But before we had quarter with Gwen. Yeah. he was really dominating everyone, bursting the leaderboard. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is happening, guys? He was really, really owning that. And on the semi day, I was like, okay, this was not a lucky day. This is just Gwen playing his best level and owning everyone. So yeah, this is not a surprise. The best is always winning in Trackmania, and I think this year the best player won.
Yeah, that's also the feeling I have. It's sort of like, okay, it's cool to have a new champion, but it's also cool to have the champion being someone that you feel, okay, you
Of
actually
course.
won it deserved. He beat CarlJr in semifinal, now we beat him in the grand final. I don't know how much you follow Gwen's history in this game, but do you think Gwen is now potentially going to be the biggest challenger for CarlJr in the upcoming events, or was this because he's young, maybe play the game more and the new game more?
Well, the thing really cool for me, Eirik, is that this is a really cool storytelling element that Gwen won the cup this year. Because next year that will be the return of the king, or
Yeah.
maybe not. So yeah, this is really cool for me. Next year I will be, is CarlJr can make it? I don't really know. Oh my god, what is happening? Is Gwen the best player? We don't know. So this will be a story like that. So this is really interesting for me. But this will be on stage, hopefully. This will be on stage. So I think this will be really different because CarlJr is really best. He is really a best player when he has the audience behind him and yelling on stage, etc. Where Gwen, on the contrary, is maybe stressed by that. So I think this will be really, really hard for Gwen to do the same performance on stage.
Yeah, you mentioned the storylines. I'm also somewhat, I don't know, happy is the right word, but I'm sort of, okay, I'm going to say happy because now I also can be like this with CarlJr. Are you going to come back? Are you going to win it?
Yeah.
Is Gwen the new king? But you know CarlJr. You have had him in your team. You have hosted now 8 editions. He has played every single event of yours. Do you think
Yes.
he's going to be motivated by this? Do you think it's going to be like, okay, it's natural that someone comes up? Or do you think it's going to be like, it's time to prove who is the king once we come to our Hotel Arena?
Yeah, I spoke to him after the event. I was like, so how is your motivation right now? Do you think are you too old to play games? And he was like, man, I was never so motivated ever. Like the Gwen winning was really a push for him. A hit in the head. It's like, okay, there are new players, you know. Do you see me? I'm Gwen. Hey. So I really think CarlJr will take the next edition by the with the most serious he can take. So that will be, I think, a great edition because Carl really want to win the last title in Bercy, because this will be the climax of the Trackmania Cup. Everyone knows it. So Carl knows it too, and he really wants to win this title in particular.
If we quickly just talk about this year's editions and then move on to next year's edition, I'm following the international scene pretty closely. I can only read that because I cannot read what your community is thinking. But a question or a problem they have with this cup is like, why no English cast? Can you just tell people why didn't you continue what you started in 2016 when Spam was allowed to cast it? And what do you think about the players that is time and time again like, he's not allowing the English community to have a cast, he only wants to speak in French? What is the reason why we don't have an English cast for this cup?
Yeah, that's a good question. And this is really difficult for me because the Trackmania Cup is a show and a competition. I mean, a esport challenge and a show. So this is really strange for me because this is also a ZeratoR show, a Trackmania show, but also an esport event. And every esport event has an English cast, right? So this is really difficult for me. Where can I put the frontier between that? This year, I didn't put an English cast because for me, it was really a beta cup, as I said, a trying cup, beginning of a new Trackmania. This was really the smallest Trackmania event ever since the beginning of stage with the Grand Rex in 2015, I guess. 16, yeah. So yeah, this was really I don't know. As we say in French, comme à la maison. It's like when you're home and you're chill, you know. you have like feet in sleepers, and you're you're really chill at home. So it was like this. This Trackmania edition for me was like this, and yeah, I know English people are always angry about that. Like, why no English cast? I don't understand. But my answer is often that you can really understand the game even if there is a French caster. I know this is not enough for the explanation of no English cast, but we have to think about the Trackmania edition as a show, not not with an esports show, So it's like translating a show when you're an English caster. I don't think this is really interesting. I don't really know. It's really a tough question and difficult for me to choose because the Trackmania Cup is not just the game, It's the audience. It's me on stage. It's the fun with the map and the fun with the lore of the map, etc., which is understandable only by French people. So yeah, this is a French show. We did try to add some English casters. This had really no great success every year. So I'm not sure about the necessary of putting an English caster. That's the answer. And did we lost Eirik?
I'm back.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, sorry, just continue.
Okay, you're back. No, I'm done with it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm fine.
Yeah, because I also try to, I don't know if defend is the right word, but somewhat try to explain it to the people. That's sort of why I made this video about how you change Trackmania. I think people in the English community that is so esport focused should understand that it is a show first. That's what you wanted to have, and then maybe esport is second. But let's say that Riolo cast it, or let's say that I was supposed to cast it. Our head works the way that, okay, we don't really care that it's show. We just want to say esport.
Yes.
The foundation of this whole cup. Have I been explaining the people the wrong, or have I somewhat made up the correct mind when trying to defend you at least?
No, I think this is exactly what I think. That the first goal of this event was make fun about Trackmania and make fun about my stream, and it became that sort of big esport event, but a show too, and a ZeratoR show, a Trackmania show. We don't really know. So yeah, the frontier is really thin. And it's really complicated to explain that when people are asking why no English cast, because yeah, this is not an esport event for me. This is a bit different. So yeah, so yeah, you're right.
That's good. So then I don't want to have a bad sleep tonight. But last topic for me about this year's edition in particular. In the qualifications, I was like, okay, maybe I expected ZeratoR to have higher numbers. I believe your peak was 86,000, but then, of course, Domingo was streaming it, Kameto. But the numbers you pulled in the grand final was like, okay, he actually did it again, even if it was an online edition. He actually take it another step. Are you feeling the same that, oh, I actually achieved numbers I didn't expect? Or did you think that the new game, the new hype, now everything has to be online? You cannot take 15,000 people off them, put them in an offline edition. Did you expect this?
Well, I never expect anything when we talk about numbers on Twitch. But the truth is, this year was a really big year for Twitch because of the COVID, etc. So many people discovered Twitch. We had, I don't know, maybe a 30%, 50% number of viewers on Twitch. More I mean more viewers. And I think Trackmania Cup was on that, like on this curve, more people on Twitch, more people on Trackmania Cup. But we also hit a limit, I think. I don't really know, because every year it's bigger. So every year I said, yeah, maybe this is the limit, and every year it's bigger. So this is false. But yeah, I was not expecting anything. The main goal of Trackmania Cup every year is to put this on stage and have people on the audience, and to have every seat filled with people. That's the main goal. And if we can do a great show for Twitch, that's really cool too. But that's the second point, okay?
Mm.
So yeah, every year it's a great success. I was not expecting anything, but we did we did bigger than the that last year, like every year.
Yeah.
So maybe next year will be bigger too. I don't know, because many people will left Twitch with the no COVID. I think, but yeah, this is really amazing. Honestly, this is really strange, because I'm doing this in my room. I'm doing my races alone. I'm like, okay, let's put that here, and then you have a big event on stage. That's still crazy for me, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what you do is crazy. But if you
Yeah,
then if you then go back to talk with the last time we spoke, it was in Lyon, and
yeah,
after, let's say, 2 weeks after, I was like, oh, I forgot to actually bring up the most important part, because Corona was already a little topic then, but I don't think I expected it to be such a big topic. I don't know if you did, but
yeah.
just
Of course.
after that, it somewhat made an impact. But when did you know that, okay, Corona has actually made such a big impact that my cup in a Coral Hotels Arena is in danger?
I really didn't decide anything about this. It was with the organization, ZQSD production, and yeah, also me. But I don't have anything to say. It's like, can we do this? No, okay, don't do this.
Mm.
I really have to trust everyone about this. I'm not an expert in healthcare or health anything. So I was like, okay, just the main goal was just we have to do this, even if this is in 6 months, 1 year, maybe 2 years. We have to do this. We promise. We have to. We need to do this. We must do this, and we achieved to find a date, an event in a place on the calendar. At the end of May, we were like, okay, we have this Saturday free for us, and we took it immediately, because this was we I mean, I was I was like, I must do Bercy. We did this.
Yeah.
Every seat was filled. We sold every seat, almost every seat. And yeah, but I couldn't decide anything before that, because I was like, can we do this? No. Can we do this? Yes. I just followed. I just really followed.
But then, if you talk about yourself, I think at least I have an impression of you want to do everything bigger each year. That's what you said in Strasbourg with me. But now you sort of have things out of your control. You cannot maybe necessarily do this 2020 edition bigger because there is no offline event. How much does that affect your motivation going into a cup like this? Is it like, did you ever think about, okay, let's just skip this online edition and just wait until next year when this is offline again? Or how has your motivation been impacted by you having to rebook a Coral Health Arena?
At the beginning, I was like, let's don't do anything. I was like, no Trackmania this year, because I was upset about this. I was depressed about this. I was like, this is really a shit news, etc. And then came the new game, and that was really cool, because I was like, okay, we can do a beta cup. We can do a test cup for Bercy. We can test this game. We can test the new blocks, test the new servers, test the players, the hype around the event. And really, the new game saved me about this decision. If that wasn't Trackmania 2, maybe I had skipped this year. I think.
Yeah. But then if we talk about the new game, you were lucky enough to announce it together with the creator Hillis on stage in Lyon. It's sort of a long time between you announcing it and it was actually released because they had to also postpone it. But what is your first impression of this new game now that it's been out for soon a month to the public?
Well, the main problem for me is that you have only roadblocks. That's a really strange thing. People are not happy with roadblock. I mean, I need pipes. I need castle. I need zeppelin. I need stuff like that. But this will come. This will come sooner, I hope. So yeah, but of course, this was like Christmas for me. It's a new game. You have tons of new blocks, and but no water. Yeah, like like they said on chat, no water is really great. Is really really hard problem. So yeah, this was like Christmas, as I said. I was really exciting because I didn't touch the game before I shown it on live, and that was true. Maybe I tested it like in Nadeo for 30 minutes. Maybe that they showed me something that they were like, okay, you have this, maybe you will have this, you will have this. It was in November last year, so really long time ago. And then I saw it at Lyon Esport when we shown the game to the audience. That was really amazing. And when I had the chance to touch the game at the end of June, I was like a child in Christmas, of course.
But if you think about how the state of Trackmania is at the moment, of course, it's cool once XQC sort of up and people are streaming it, because then it felt somewhat international. But at least I have the personal feeling that maybe now we're slowly but surely moving back to where France is by far the biggest country, and maybe the international community is still feeling behind. Is that some sort of impression you have? What is the impression from the French community about the international community?
Well, I think it's a bit early to talk about that because this is really the beginning of the game, and we had the really great push with the Trackmania Cup. So this was really French focused. I mean, the release of the game was really French focused. We have to see maybe in 1 year after the 2021 TM Cup, and maybe with the TMGL bringing more international hype and viewers and casters and people like that. So I think this is really too early to talk about, is it French focused, will it be esports, will it be international? I don't really have thought about this because I think this is really too early. We are in like 30 days of playing this game, so yeah, this is really early.
Last topic for me is going to be the next year's edition. You said that will be the climax. That is something, I don't know, the international community is somewhat at least scared about. Is that going to be the last edition? Can you just tell people, is the next year's edition the last edition? If not, what do you think about the future of your event? Tell people, what is the future of the ZrT Trackmania Cup?
That's the question, Eirik. I don't know. The correct answer is we have only 3 choices. I think we can do bigger. We can do approximately the same, and maybe smallest. Do we say like that? A small event, a big event, or maybe the same. But we have another choice, and this another choice is maybe change the competition, change the way we bring Trackmania with player, we work with it, etc. I really like this option, but I really don't have a main plan to follow in my head. So I really have to think about it again. Just I don't think we can do bigger. I mean, in France right now, not for the 10 next years, but in France right now, we can't do bigger because bigger mean do the double of the people in Bercy, because you reach a stadium then, almost a stadium. So this is really too early for that. But maybe, change the competition, change the way I bring Trackmania to my viewers and the people. This will be the goal and maybe the aim of my reflection.
Yeah, and something you mentioned there about maybe changing it up. You did it last year with having duo mode. This year was solo mode.
That's right.
What now you have gone back to solo mode? Is next year's edition solo mode? Can you tell us already? Is it duo mode? What is next year's edition going to be in format?
I really can't tell you. But the thing I can tell you is I was sure about my choice for Bercy, and now I saw the duo and solo again. I was like, maybe we have to think about it again. I can tell you that, but I took a decision for Bercy.
Oh, you took a decision. Well, once you want to go public with it, you know where to find me, and I will be happy to announce it to the English community.
Yeah, I know where to find you.
But thank you so much for taking so much time to speak with the international community, to speak with me. Is there any final words to the international communities that have now been fan of your cups for? It's 7 years since we started the first edition. I think people like myself has followed it since basically 7 years.
Well, last year, I'm sorry from the English cast. I hope you understood my decision. This is a really tough question for me, but this is really hard to set up. And maybe not the goal of the event. I don't know. This is really difficult. I know this is a problem for you, but well, this is a really visual game. You can see everyone. I know, and French is a really great language. Like you hear it,
Yeah.
it's like we sing on your head, into your head. So yeah, I think you have to be kind about it. And but thank you everyone, of course, for following the event. You are each year again bigger and bigger. So this is amazing.
Thank you so much again, and I can only book a ticket for Stade de France in 2022, right?
Don't say that, Eirik.
I will.
I told you
will.
this is too early.
Oh, or leaked. Oh, sorry. But thank you so much, and now it's that's it for ZeratoR, and up next should be Aurel if he is waiting in the shadows there. But if you want to follow ZeratoR, you can do it on Twitch. He's the biggest Trackmania streamer. So yeah, thanks again, ZeratoR.
Thank you, Eirik. See you.
Once again, it's a pleasure to welcome Aurel back to the Trackmania Live. Aurel, you've also been sort of a familiar face now. I don't know if Trackmania has just a few players, or if the best players are just the best players. But welcome. How are you feeling, Aurel?
Yeah, thanks again. I'm once again happy to be there, and so yeah, I'm really fine. And the weekend was quite good, and the week as well is going well, so everything is fine.
Yeah, now it's a Wednesday. The final took place on Sunday. You qualified into the grand final. You didn't end up winning it this year, but can you tell people how happy are you now, some days removed from the event?
Well, at first, I can say that my feelings were separate a bit, since I was already quite happy to be in final because that was my main goal. But also, after the final that just ended up, I was a bit sad as well because I knew that I could have done a bit way better since my very beginning of the match wasn't that great. But yeah, the day right after, on Monday, I just realized that it was already really nice to be in final, and I didn't have to expect that much because it was already really great to be among the top 3, top 4 of this cup once again.
And because if you go into the grand final or into the semi-final, sorry, and I'm already sorry to say I predicted you to go out, but you proved me wrong there. I actually thought that that was going to be a close final. But how did you preview that semi-finals? Did you think that it was going to be as close as it was? Was you surprised that it was that close? What did you think about your semi-final?
Yeah, I really knew that it would have been that close because between Bren and Papou, I know that our level is quite similar in ZrT, and we were all stressed, like a lot, even more like if you were on stage. So it was really stressful situation, and we've seen that because in match the level wasn't really that high. We must admit that, and but in the end it went better because the time was a bit more fast and it was the same for all of us. But yeah, in the end, we saw that it was close since the very first round because we were giving the points to each other. Like sometimes I was first and I was going to fourth place, and it was the same for all of us. So it was really close match, and in the end, I just made it. And Papou was close as well, and the Xer as well was close. But I'm really happy since I made it. So I'm really happy about that.
And something I guess we can somewhat laugh about now is that at least the spectators was like trying to spectate you, and we were like, okay, what is Aurel doing? Is he lagging out? And then we understood it was a spectator bug. But did you notice anything when driving that it was something different, or is this simply just related to spectators?
Well, for me, everything was fine. I didn't even know about that, and a lot of people just tell me after that stop cheating or whatever about some stuff. And like, what do you mean? Because I don't have anything in my games that is going wrong. And I during the match, I think after map 1 or map 2, I just seen your tweet when I
Yeah.
was playing and what happened is happening. I still try to keep my focus in the game because for me everything was fine. So, but yeah, it was only a spectator bug and my game was running fine and in semi and final as well. So everything was fine in my side.
So it didn't affect anything from your performance.
Yeah, everything. I don't have to say anything about that.
Yeah. But then you go into the grand final, and I think maybe the first thing we can talk about is the map pack. Did you have any hopes for the map pack? And if you talk about the map pack, how it ended up being, is it happy with the map pack that you ended up playing in the final?
In the end, yeah, I was quite happy. Well, I've seen that the first map of the semi-final wasn't my best ones, but in the end, I knew that the end of the match could have been better, and that's what happened. And in the final, I had like my two best map, I will say. Not really my two best, but I had two great maps in the final, and luckily it was the two last one. So yeah, I was still happy of the map pack itself, I must admit. And yeah, it was fine map pack for the final for me.
Just on the Saturday before the Sunday, I uploaded a video about my 10 top moments from the ZrT Trackmania Cup. And I think you already knocked one of them out, at least, with what you did in the grand final. You made ZeratoR think it was like a checkpoint bug. You saw CarlJr writing in the chat, it's a checkpoint bug. But you were just smarter than them. You just found a new way to do that map. How long did you know about that sort of trajectory that you could do?
Well, it's already been a while that we know that cut. I mean, the cut was found between the BPP team with Balulu and stuff. And we had it like already since the first week of qualification. And the goal was not to show it. Like, only if we have to show the cut, we will show it. But it wasn't even needed to qualify. And the map wasn't again in semi-final. So I was hoping for it to be in final, and that's what happened. And even more, it was close to the finalist mode. So yeah, it's been a while that I got this cut, I would say, and it ended up at a great moment, I will say, in the final.
Yeah, that has to be perfect. Like you have that in the back of your head you have something up your sleeve that okay, but just please that map come up. What is the feeling when you see, oh damn, it's that map? Now I can actually show it to people.
Yeah, clearly. Like, for example, I wasn't even stressed for the final because that was my main goal and I made it. Um, and I knew that the map will come. And when the map came out of the map pack, I've just seen the map. I see, okay, I have to do it and I have to do it properly because if I do it and then crash, it will be like so stupid because what is he doing? So yeah, I was a bit stressed if I doing it bad or stuff. So I tried to save it, and I'm really happy at what I did because I made it far, yeah, all the way. I made it, I guess. I
Mm.
never failed it, so I'm really happy of that. And yeah, I knew that I just had to keep to keep up with Bren, Carl, and Gwen in order to be closer to them in points, and then I could catch up a bit more on that map. So unfortunately, my beginning of the match wasn't that fast and wasn't the greatest one, but I still had a great map with that cut, and I was really happy that I could have shown this one in the final.
Yeah, but after that map you collected up to the others, you catch up to them. Was it like, oh, now I have the chance to win it again after somewhat a slow start into the final? Did you think about it, or is it just I'm just gonna play, and if I think about that, then I'm gonna play worse?
I wasn't even thinking to about winning the cup during the world final because it was already great, as I said. But yeah, this map came up, and thanks to this cut, I just came closer to Bren in points, and I was only, I guess, not even 10 points behind CarlJr. And then after this map, I've just realized that it was a ice map, a glass, and this map was supposed to be my best map. So once again, I must admit that I was a lot and really shaky on that map, and I knew when this map came out that I could have made it, but yeah, the stress was there, and it was really hard to make some clean runs and to take the win. And Gwen did a really insane time on his first attempt. So yeah,
Mm.
I really know that I could have made it, but yeah, I'm really happy of what I did and no regrets.
Mm. Yeah, and if you then talk about Gwen winning it first time in a grand final, then he just go ahead and wins everything. Did you expect him to win it? Did you see him as the biggest favorite for this cup, or are you somewhat surprised that he actually managed to even win this cup?
I'm not even surprised because I'm playing a lot of Cup with him in the past and the other game as well. And we knew that he will be really strong on ZrT, and that's what happened. He did a really first 6 day of qualification, and he had some good maps. He was really fast, and the thing that he made it in the semi-final as well as the final. So yeah, I'm not even surprised of what he did, and maybe I would have think that he would have crashed a bit more under the pressure. But the thing with Gwen, we don't really know how he feel about the pressure. So something like he's only 15 years old and he don't really care and is doing really good in finalist attempt. Like most of the time when he's finalist, he's winning the run right after. So yeah, he did really well and fully deserved the win.
But now you see him first time in the grand final. He just goes ahead and win it. You have been there 4 times, and still the title is yours. It's like, ah, damn! Couldn't you waited 1 year so I could have it first? Or what do you think about maybe your chances at winning a title in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I was close once again, but it's
Yeah.
not a shame. Last year I got second. Uh, it was in finalist mode as well. This year I could have get second as well because it was finalist mode. So yeah, I'm really close and I know that, but it don't really affect me and I just hope that the year will come and maybe the next year will be it will be the best, so in Bercy. But yeah, no matter what, I'm really happy that to be once again in final and it's my main goal and obviously if Bercy can be a win, I'll really be really happy that it will be really hard.
Yeah, then you pick the right event to win, right?
Yeah.
But now you've played a lot of the events from the ZrT Trackmania Cup in Trackmania 2 Stadium. Now you play the first in the new Trackmania. Can you tell, is there any difference for you in how it feels to play this particular cup on this game?
Um, it was quite similar, I would say. At the very beginning, I had still some troubles with the game, but in the end, the feelings are the same, I must admit. There is nothing really different. Maybe about the ZrT, the maps are a bit more smooth, I will say. There is less jumps or tricks that can make big differences. But yeah, in the end, the game for me is almost the same, and I don't have any differences about my level. So yeah, it's quite a good news, I will say.
Final question from me. Now the ZrT Trackmania Cup is over. It's one of the major events of the year. Can you tell the fans of Trackmania, what is the next for Aurel? What are you gonna focus on in the upcoming weeks and months?
Well, obviously, for now, I will have a short break. Like tomorrow, I'm moving holidays, so short break for now. But yeah, obviously, we with a TMGL where I'm aiming top 8 first once again to reach the playoff. And I really know that with those maps that we have already seen, like the first 3 maps have already been released, I can do great, and I'm confident to be in top 8 again. At least I hope I will. But I'm pretty sure that with the training, I will make it, and we will see. And about the other cup, we will see what happened. And my main goal will be obviously Bercy. I will think a lot about this one. I have to qualify for it once again.
Yes, it already it's a long time until the next ZrT Cup, but it's always like you already how is it gonna feel to be on the stage? Is it always in the back of your head that you're maybe counting weeks until the ZrT next year's, or what are you thinking about the next year?
Maybe not counting weeks, but obviously I'm seeing every year like I have to qualify. And the thing is, if I don't qualify in Bercy, I will be really sad because I made it to all other events, and Bercy is the biggest one. So yeah, I don't really have that in mind, but I know that it will be a really great opportunity to be on this mythic stage in France, and I would really love to. So it still have to focus and keep cool.
Yeah, hopefully I will see you in Paris. I hope I will be there, and I hope you will be there, and then maybe finally get this winner interview after the ZrT Trackmania Cup, right?
Yeah, I hope so too.
But thank you so much, man. And if people want to follow you, I guess Twitter is the best place to follow you, or still no
Yeah,
stream, right?
clearly on Twitter, I'm giving up the most of my thing in TM.
That's it for Aurel. Next interview, I guess, is going to be Gwen. So if you want to hear from the champion himself, stick around until the break is over. Once again, a pleasure, Aurel. Thanks for stepping up.
Yeah, thank you. See you.
And we have a new champion in the ZrT Trackmania Cup. Gwen, when he won this cup, became the youngest champion of the cup ever. After the win at the ZrT Trackmania Cup.
It's very strange because it was online. It's hard to realize that you won a cup in front of 140k viewers. And being the 5th in the world to win this cup is pretty amazing.
Yeah, once you bring up 150 or 140,000 viewers watch you win this, can you imagine how many people that is?
No.
But if you are the youngest player to win it, CarlJr was 18, Kunz was 17, Haviflar was 17. You are 15. Did you expect to win it already this year?
I didn't expect to win because last year I was struggling in semi-final, while people like Aurel or Papou are always in final, but they never won. And me, one year after my first semi-final, I win. So yeah, that was not planned.
Yeah, you have one grand final, and the players that you played against, Aurel had 4, Bren had 6, CarlJr had 7. but you beat them. I mean, did you expect it before the grand final once you saw that you are going to play against Carl, Bren, and Aurel that, okay, I can actually win this?
No, clearly not.
But if you go back to then the semi-final, you played against CarlJr again, and then you played also against Bad Lulu and Yannex. How would you say that semi-final was for you?
The semi-final was pretty good. Carl and I dominated the match, so I was confident to go in the final.
Yeah, would you say that, I don't know if boring is the right word, but did you feel that you had everything under control the whole way?
I really didn't say that, but it was very, very confident. Yeah, I don't know how to say that, but
Yeah, it's for sure confident. It was basically you and CarlJr dominating that.
yeah.
But before then, the grand final, did you then have more confidence because you already beat CarlJr in the semi-final? That how did you feel before the grand final? What did you expect before the grand final?
I expected to just play like I know to do, but yeah, I didn't expect that I will win the cup.
But if you talk about the final itself, was that your best performance, or would you say that your performance in the quarterfinal was better?
I think my performance was better in quarterfinal, but it was very good also. Yes.
Yeah, how do you feel during a final like that? You know that it's the ZrT Trackmania Cup, it's the biggest cup in terms of viewers, and you are playing in the final. Do you think about that, or is it just a normal match for you?
Honestly, for me, it was just a normal match because it was online. I didn't realize today that it was be in front of 140k viewers. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mental. But during then the sort of the whole Trackmania Grand League, no, the whole ZrT Trackmania Cup, did you feel some extra pressure over the whole event compared to, let's say, the Open Grand League? Did you feel any extra pressure?
Contrary of might we have think, I didn't have a lot of pressure. I don't know why. Maybe the new game. I don't know.
But now you won it. I mean, if you win the ZrT Trackmania Cup, you're gonna have a lot of exposure. I was in your stream after it. You had
Yeah.
over 30,000 viewers. You got 100 subs from ZeratoR, 20 subs from Hillis. I mean, what is the funniest thing that has happened to you after the win?
So, like you said, after the match, I launched my stream, and ZeratoR gifted 100 subs. I don't know why, but it was very funny.
Was that the cash prize, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But now that you are some days away, we are recording this on a Tuesday. Are your friends, have they talked to you about it? Your family? How is your father, for example, that filmed you once you were 4 years old? Has they talked about you because of the win at this event?
Yeah, but ah, uh, there is a lot of I don't know how to say that, but in French it's press,
Yeah.
media,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, now you have to get used to talk to people like me that is always going to ask you for an interview, right?
Yeah.
But of course, now you won this cup, you defeat CarlJr. Now people are going to look at you maybe as the biggest favorite for next year. And next year, it's not online. Hopefully, it's going to be in front of 15,000 people in Accor Hotels Arena. Do you think that maybe already that you are the favorite for that cup, or is that too soon?
For me, I'm not the favorite because it will be at Bercy and it will be very different, like more pressure and the stage.
But are you looking forward to it, or would you maybe say that you are better online than offline?
I'm better online, honestly.
But do you think that that can come with like training, or how will you train to become better at offline events?
I don't know.
Yes,
But,
I guess it's hard to prepare to play in front of 15,000 people, right?
yeah.
But my final topic is a question that I asked on Twitter was, because the next major event is the Trackmania Grand League. In the last interview with me, you said that you would, if you had to pick, you would win Trackmania Grand League over ZeratoR Cup. Are you then the favorite to win Trackmania Grand League, or who do you see as the favorite?
Clearly not the same map, not the same players, and clearly not the same level. So I will just do the max and we will see. But for me, yeah, the favorite is like each year, Carl or Pac, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you have to promise me to get top 3. I put a bet on you already back in February that you are going to be top 3. So don't disappoint me now.
I will try. I will try.
But is there any final words that you maybe have to say to the English community? I know you spoke probably a lot to the French community on your stream, but is there anything that you want to say to the English people that maybe have supported you during this whole event and are impressed by what you have shown and that the history that you created during this cup?
Thanks, and don't judge my accent.
I mean, in the last interview we did, I was like, okay, people are finally gonna speak or talk about how he's like a player, and all people are like, oh, Gwen's English is good. Gwen is better than most people in French in English, so your English is good according to my comment section.
Thanks.
But that's it for this interview. Thanks a lot, and congratulations on winning this major event once again, Gwen.
Thanks.
That's it. Bye bye. And once again, it's a pleasure to welcome Bren to the Trackmania Live. Bren, a third place at the ZrT Trackmania Cup. How are you feeling now, some days removed from that performance?
Well, I'm pretty good. Like I cooled down from the weekend, so I'm fine. How are
But,
you?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it once it's around, and I'm enjoying the performance that you guys put on. And I just want to say thanks because you were a factor in both of the good matches in that weekend. The semifinals was close, and the final you played was close. While Gwen and CarlJr did somewhat the boring semifinals on their half. But if you talk about the semifinal first, then did you expect it to be so close, or did you expect to maybe do better yourself, to dominate more, maybe to get knocked out? What did you think about that semifinal?
I entered the semifinal pretty confident, let's be honest, but I knew it would be close because I'm used to play against Papou and Aurel, and it's always the same. Like we have pretty much the same level, so like I know that we'd have a cool match. I was happy to see that ZeratoR was good as well. Like I didn't expect that much from him, but like he was actually very, very good, which was cool and made the match even closer because I was behind him at some point in the match as well. So yeah, I think it was a cool match. Although, well, our level wasn't the best, I guess, because like none of us, we were all very shaky, and none of us was very good and at our peak level because we were very stressed, and like we took 10 points and 3 points and 10 points, and like we kept sharing the points depending on the maps as well. So yeah, it was a cool match, but like maybe not the highest level of Trackmania, but it was still fun to play.
Yeah, but then when you have a match like that, when maybe you feel like I didn't play my best, are you like thinking that before the grand final, like how do I change it, or is it like okay, now I had a bad match, so probably the next match is going to be good? How does the semifinal impact your performance in the grand final?
Well, my main objective was to get through the semifinal, So I was very, very stressed, and like there was a lot of pressure when entering the semi-final, which completely disappeared when I played the final. Like I had no more stress. I was just like enjoying the game and trying to play good, which went better as well because I was challenging Carl and Gwen until one map. But yeah, I just felt more confident, and I felt like I was just playing more relaxed, and it went much better, which was the only difference between the semi-final and the final. So yeah, I guess it's all about the pressure and not really changing my mindset or whatever, just enjoying it.
Yeah, I guess I can cover many things in Trackmania, but the thing I feel that I am the worst at is actually comparing how the players' level is. If you say, how would you say the level in the final was? Was it like you felt that you played the best the Bren we could see? Did you feel that the final overall was a good level? How would you sum it up?
I think the level was quite high. Like it was a good performance by Gwen. CarlJr, I think we were a bit slower with Aurel. But like it was a good level, and not fully satisfied with how I played. Like I played decent, but I know I could have done much better. But I think it's always like everyone would say that after a match. Like anyone would think that, even Gwen, who won, probably thinks that he could do even better than that. So yeah, just don't feel completely satisfied. But like I'm still happy anyways. Like third isn't bad, and like they fully deserve the first and second place considering how they play in the semi-final and then throughout the whole tournament. So yeah, I'm still satisfied. I could have done better, but it would be for next year, hopefully. Like I say that every year, but
yeah. But if you then talk about the final itself, it was close between you, CarlJr, Gwen, and Aurel, at least after he catch up with that strat on this map. But what did you think about during the final? Do you think about anything like, oh, it's close, maybe I should risk more to just get the 10 points? Maybe I should save and hope the other players risk? What do you think when it's so close between you guys?
well, as I just explained before, like I didn't have as much pressure as during the semifinals, so I wasn't really thinking. I was just trying to finish my runs, trying to be good. It's hard to like push because of all the lags. You can't put cars on and check where you're between the others if you need to push, to risk, or to save or whatever, because you can't see where the other cars are. So it's very different from when you can see and compare your times to the others. So I was just playing for myself, trying to do decent runs. Not to do too many mistakes and focus on myself, and that's how I did. Then again, like it could have been different if I could see the other opponents. Not saying I would have done better than third, but like still would have made the difference, I think. And coming to the point where Aurel was cutting the map, I think it's really, really smart. Like I wish we lost Eirik.
Okay, you got the lucky bug. Continue.
Yeah, well, I said
The
like I
lucky
wish
bug
I had.
yeah.
Yeah, the cut from Aurel. I wish I had the strat like that, because like it's something super cool to have like in your pocket and be able to sneak some points with a secret strat. I actually tried to look for it. Like I tried to find the cut on this map as well, but could never find one for some reason. So I was pretty impressed, especially because I could only realize that it was a cut at the fourth round, because I first thought it was a bug. So it got me a bit confused, maybe a bit out of the match as well, but like it's part of the game, and I found it pretty cool.
Yeah, it was somewhat hilarious because I actually understood what you wrote in chat. I didn't necessarily understand what ZeratoR said. It was like, Aurel checkpoint bug, question mark, and Aurel was like, none.
Yeah, he didn't give any explanation. Like we were just
Yeah.
confused throughout the whole match. And then at some point in the fourth round, I just put cars on and saw him so far ahead, but like at the second turn, and I was like there's no way. The only reason why it would be like that is that the lags made him start earlier, or he had a cut, and it only made sense in the last round. So I just realized way too late that he had a cut. Yeah, it confused us.
Yeah. But if you talk about yourself, it was a 6th time in the grand final. Still, this solo win is not something you have, but is that something you think about, or is that something just I like to think about that post on Twitter and such?
Well, obviously, I'd love to win. Like I've been trying so hard since so many years, but when I come into the grand final, I feel like I've reached my goal.
Yeah.
Like top 4 is already awesome, and I'm just trying to enjoy the final and be happy that I had a last match to play with so many viewers and everything, and just trying to enjoy it and be good. So I'm not really thinking about the win when I'm playing, which is probably a mistake. to win actually, but yeah, I just try to enjoy it.
But if we talk about Gwen, then he's now sort of a new challenger up there, a new contender. I mean, CarlJr. You played against in so many finals, Aurel as well. So Gwen is basically the only new face in that final. Do you think he's gonna stick around for the next finals? Do you think that this was maybe like Harvey Flyer once and done, or what do you think about the future for him in this cup particular?
Well, when I was in Australia, I wasn't playing so many tournaments, but I saw Gwen in almost all of them with Aurel. Like they were just sharing the first place every time. So I knew he would be very good, and like he has a name on the scene already, like with qualifying through to the TMGL and everything. Sorry, but yeah, I think he'll be in the final next year as well, and he'll do good. But of course, I'm not as close to Gwen as I am with CarlJr, so it might give me the extra push to try and beat someone. Because like if Carl wins the tournament, I'm just like, it's okay, he's my friend. Like I won't be sad. But now that Gwen won, I just want to beat him next year. So it might give me the extra push. I don't know. I'll see.
Yeah, that's something I brought up in, I think it was yesterday with Scotty and Turbo. Like Gwen coming up is not necessarily a bad thing for the other players, because now it's like, it's another player to beat. So it's just more motivation for you because you have a new contender, some extra motivation, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's also good to see that someone that young, even if it's not so young, is appearing on the scene, and like there's a chance that he will keep going for the next years and probably motivating other players as well. So it's good to know that the Trackmania scene will keep going on through the years, and we have a challenge to like still remain through the best, even when we're getting older and not as fresh as Gwen and maybe new ones that will reach the top like ZeratoR maybe. So yeah, it's giving us a new challenge, and it's pretty good.
I just spoke with ZeratoR on this Trackmania Live. He mentioned that he doesn't know what the next is after Accor Hotels Arena. Maybe that's the next or the last. Maybe try to do it bigger, maybe not. So if you just think about it as it's maybe the last event, what would that event mean to you? How much would you focus on that event? How much would you train? Is that going to be the biggest goal of your career to do well in that tournament? Can you tell us already what do you think about next year's edition?
Yeah, it will definitely be my biggest tournament. Like if I'm lucky enough to play in Bercy, it would be like probably what only a few players have done in their life, like even on other games, which is awesome in a way. And yeah, I'm feeling extremely motivated like from now on. So I know that I will be playing the whole year, trying to get better and better, trying to find the proper settings and everything. Like I'm trying new things now. And yeah, I know that I will be playing a lot and streaming a lot and trying my hardest next year as well. Like I'm doing it every year actually.
But
And I can't wait.
Imagine that. I wish it was next month, but yeah. I
Yeah.
guess it's somewhat good for both the scene and the players to have something so far in front that you can continue doing other stuff in Trackmania, so it helps the games grow as well. Because now maybe next year's Accor Hotels Arena is going to help the hype for Trackmania Grand League, and eventually Trackmania Grand League gets bigger of it, and Trackmania Grand League, we know it will continue even after next year, right?
Well, it's good to see that on the game right now we have a lot of things to do. Like as you said, like track of the day, TMGL, everything. Like we have things to do through the whole year, which was pretty different in the last game, because like after we did the ZrT Cup and maybe played the TMGL, like we basically had nothing to do apart from trying to lurk on RPG servers or like wall maps for some others or whatever. So it's good to have like objectives and have goals with the trophies as well, which keep us entertained and like motivated throughout the year. So yeah. Yeah.
And then just the final question for me is a question I asked the other players, but what is next for Bren? What are you gonna have your eyes on? Is it gonna be a little break until Trackmania Grand League? Is it gonna? I heard maybe CarlJr is gonna organize a cup with you. What is the next things in the future for you in Trackmania now?
Well, since it's my last year at university, I want to focus during this year because it will be pretty chill. So I want to focus on gaming and streaming and see what I can achieve in a year. See how I am like in terms of subscribers, followers, and everything in a year. See if I can live with that. If I can, then I will be working as a streamer. Else I will just probably slowly leave the scene and work on something else, like what I studied for. So yeah, I will definitely be playing a lot, even during August, and streaming a lot. So I'll just be focusing on Trackmania a lot and see what I can achieve during a year. So that's my goal for the year, and see what's next. I can't really know. it's hard to get.
Yeah. But Trackmania Grand League, what is your expectations there? You didn't qualify top 8 last year. Can you promise people are going to be top 8 this year?
Well, I can't promise anything because it also depends on other players' level.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got 10th last year when I was in Australia, not really practicing. And I know that I'll be playing a lot this year. And it's probably the first year that I will be training that much. So hopefully I do good. But yeah, I feel confident and I'm aiming for top 4 at the end.
There you have it. Thanks so much for stepping up again. And once again, congratulations with a solid performance at the ZrT Trackmania Cup. And good luck in Trackmania Grand League.
Yeah, thank you.
There we have it. A little break now. And then Papou is coming up next. And after that, CarlJr. And once again, it's a pleasure to welcome a friend of this channel back to this channel. It's Papou. Sadly, Papou, the Sunday didn't go your way for the first time, I guess, in 4 years. You're not in the grand final, but now, 3 days after the cup, what are your feelings? Are you sad? Are you disappointed? Are you like, that's happened in Trackmania? What are your feelings at the moment?
Hello everyone. So yeah, about my performance, I think I played really bad in when it mattered the most, and yeah, so I'm still really sad about this, but yeah, that's a game, and I can't really do anything about it. That's done, and yeah, I just played bad.
But now you had some days to think about it. Do you know why you say that you played bad or feel that you played bad? Was it the map pack? Was it how you felt on the day? Was it what is the factors that can make a Trackmania player play bad?
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't about the map pack, that's for sure, because it was it was a good map pack for me actually. And yes, I don't know. I just didn't enter the match. I didn't have the mindset, and I don't know. I didn't have the momentum, etc. Did a lot of mistakes. I don't know. Maybe I was tired. Maybe I don't know. So sometimes you just have bad days, and yeah, you cannot do much about it. So yeah. I think I don't really have excuses. I just play bad, and that's it.
Yeah, but still, semi-final of the ZrT Trackmania Cup. I mean,
Yeah.
we are talking like you went out in round 1. You're like still one of the top 8 players in this cup, right?
Yeah, of course. But when you are a competitor, You always want to end the win, and yeah, even more when it's like so close to
Yeah.
to make it. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's a game, the Trackmania.
But if we talk about Go ahead.
Unforgivable. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's unforgivable. That's a game that is unforgivable for mistakes. So yeah, that's all my bad.
But if we talk about the semifinal itself, did you feel during the match that something was, I don't know, wrong? That, oh, I'm not getting everything I want. I don't drive as fast as I want, or was it simply because you didn't qualify that you feel that, oh, maybe I should have done better?
I mean, the first two maps, I knew I could perform well. I mean, I knew I could like score a lot of points, like I don't know, close to 80 maybe, you know. And when on the first two rounds on the second map, I was like doing stupid mistakes that I didn't do in quali. I was like full regu, you know, and I did just stupid mistake. It was like, okay, it's gonna be difficult, you know. I knew it's I don't know, something was wrong. I don't know what actually. Just yeah, just I don't know. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Just looking back at it, I'm like, that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Have you watched
Yeah.
the match or?
Yeah, I watched it like yesterday because I wasn't sub at ZeratoR channel, so I couldn't watch it earlier, you know. So yeah, I watched it. It was heartbreaking. Yeah. I watched also my quarterfinal because I couldn't do it still again. I could not do it as well. So yeah, semifinal I watched it. I don't know. Seeing the mistakes, I was like, I don't know, man. That was avoidable. I mean, that was avoidable. Just a little release, and my car will then jumped in the wall. So I don't know. I mean, I will learn from that, and I will come back stronger, hopefully. So yeah.
But after you are then knocked out of this tournament, how are you as a player? Are you like, quit Trackmania, I leave computer, I go out? Or are you like, that happens, I'm going to watch semifinal 2, I'm going to watch the grand final after?
How to say it? You know, it's always bad to lose, even more when you're as close as it was. And also, all the Geo staff and you know all the Geo were watching in a big TV screen outside of my room. So they all came in the room and hugged me. You know, trying to make me feel better because it was close and I just lost it. So yeah, it was. I wasn't focusing on semifinal 2, that's for sure, because yeah, it was not the mood at this time. So yeah, that was of course a sad moment. And yeah, what to say? Not as sad as the TMGL final. You remember that?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a sad one. So close, so far. So yeah.
But did you watch the grand
Hold
final
on.
of this cup or?
Yeah, I watched it. It was actually a good match, a really good match.
But once
And
you
yeah,
are,
we watched it in the big screen.
yeah.
Yeah.
But once you are a good player like you are, you can probably do something I can't, and that is imagining how you would play against these players in that final. Do you think about that when you watch, like, how would I do on this map? How would I do on that map? How would I do in this round? Or is it just like, now I'm gonna sit back, I'm just gonna enjoy the show?
Yeah, when I saw the overall map pack of the final, I was like, yeah, maybe that's a good thing I didn't reach the final. You know, and also like with Aurel doing a special cut, you know, for the show, etc. I think it was maybe a good thing that it wasn't in the grand final because yeah, it was. He did entertain the chat, etc. Aurel with the cut, you know, and didn't. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I could have done against those players, you know, because I didn't play it again, and that's it. So, so yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I could have done something, you know. Who knows? But Yeah, I think the 4 players who reached the grand final deserved it, and I just sit after that and enjoyed the show, enjoyed the good matches and the good end that happened.
And what do you think about Gwen, who first time in the grand final, and then he actually wins it in the first time in the grand final?
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. He progressed, improved a lot since last year as well. So that's really deserved. He also impressed everyone. I think during the whole year, 2019 and early 2020 with the OGL, etc. So yeah, I think he deserved it. But I will be back in Bercy. So yeah.
Why wait until Bercy? You have Trackmania Grand League. You can beat him in Trackmania
Of
Grand League
course,
first.
of course. But talking about ZrT, I will be there for the title next year. So yeah.
Is that a
Be
big goal
ready.
that you have already? That maybe like this year of not qualifying into the grand final is maybe gonna help your motivation next year, because I'm gonna prove people. I'm gonna prove them. I'm gonna be in the final. I'm gonna win it even.
Yeah, and plus this is at Bercy, so that will be a really huge motivation. And yeah, I'm so motivated to be there, and also TMGL also, because these are the 2 big events of the year at the moment. So yeah, excited.
But then if you talk about Trackmania Grand League, because that is coming up sooner than the Bercy, what goals do you have? You were in the grand final last year of the playoffs. You won the group stage. You looked like, maybe again, it's like you're underestimated every year, but do you think that maybe this year you will maybe get respect in the polls, or is still people gonna be like, Balu or Papou, and then eventually you surprise them?
I don't know, man, about the polls, etc. Underestimated if people, I don't know, that's what people think. I don't really care, etc. And yeah, so as for usual on TMGL, I aim for top 8 for playoffs, and so then after that we will aim for another objective, so another goal. So yeah, of course, then the win at the end, of course, but yeah, for the moment, top 8, it will be. I will be fine with that. And of course, if I win, because I won the group stages last year, but it wasn't really, important. And after that, I got a really tough match in the semifinal. So yeah, maybe I will not do first this time. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? The time will show. But I guess it's time to somewhat end this interview, because if we go on longer, I can speak with you for 2 hours. But I can somewhat promise you maybe a little break until at least the Trackmania Grand League. Then I will probably bother you again, ask you to come outside, doing the phone interviews and showing your smile to the world of Trackmania, right?
Yeah, sure. I will also take vacations, well-deserved vacations, and yeah, we'll be back for TMGL.
There you have
and
it.
Review,
Papou is back for TMGL. Yeah.
Sure.
But thank you so much, man. And that's it for Papou. Next interview and the last interview of today is going to be CarlJr. That interview was recorded at 1 a.m. last night. I recorded it, so sadly the sound of myself is not the best, but important part, CarlJr's sound is good there. But that's it for Papou. Papou, thank you so much for stepping up, and enjoy CarlJr's interview.
See ya. See ya. Good evening.
Once again, CarlJr qualified into the grand final of the ZrT Trackmania Cup. But unlike the other times these last years, this was not a win, but a second place. Carl, welcome back. Now, I think it's like the third time, fourth time. I lost count about how many times you've been on, but welcome back, man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm feeling really good right now. So let's do this, man.
So if people are expecting to hear like disappointed CarlJr that didn't win it, what can you say to those people? Are you disappointed now? We are recording this on a Tuesday night, but are you disappointed about what happened on Sunday?
No, I was happy right after the final actually. So a second place for me, it was a really good thing. I think my goal was to reach the top 8, and I got second in the end. So I was really happy, and I think I played well in the tournament. So yeah, I cannot be sad about what happened.
So it's more coming down to how you feel that you played, because if you're just an outside viewer, you think that, okay, he has won it so many times that only a win would be good enough. But can you tell people why are you happy, or why are you not disappointed, rather?
Well, it's a new game. There are a lot of new things like ice, like gliders, a lot of new stuff to learn. I didn't have my camera 3 at the start of my training either. So in the end, getting second is a really, really good thing since I'm not the best learner ever. So yeah, I think I'm really happy with my second position with all those new thingies in the game.
But if you then let's talk with the semifinal first. I somewhat expected it to be you and Gwen overtaking the others and simply dominating it, and that was actually the case. Did you view it the same way, that maybe if you and Gwen hit your sort of peak level, that you would dominate that semifinal like you did?
On paper, I think we would both make it, but Bad Lily was really good on some maps. Like he was the best on specific maps. So depending on how the map pack would be, he could have been like really, really good. And actually, like on the finalist map, it was an ice map that he had the WR by a lot, so he could get like the 40 points easily. But he had a really bad match. So yeah, well I won't lie, I was a bit happy about that because he's a really good contender.
Yeah. But then if you head into the semi or in the grand final, then you know that you're gonna play against Bren or Aurel. You played against both of them in a ZrT final before, but now you also have Gwen who beat you in a semi-final. Did you think about who was the biggest favorite heading into that final, or what was you thinking before that grand final?
I was thinking about the map pack actually. I knew it would all be some ice maps, so I was afraid of that. But in the end, I think Gwen deserved it. He played the best the whole tournament, and yeah, he just deserved it. And yeah, then again, I'm happy about that second place with that map pack as well.
But do you think that if there was like another map pack that you would be the favorite, or if there was another map pack maybe you would be last? Can you tell people what maps was you hoping for, if so?
Well, the thing is, Gwen beat me in the semifinal, and it was completely different maps. So then again, I don't have any excuse there. So it's not about the map pack either, because I think in the final we were all the same type of players. Maybe Aurel is more good at those tricky ice maps
Yeah.
than us, but for example, me, Gwen, and Bren are all like, I think our best maps are all similar to each other's.
But then talk about Gwen. He's 15 years old. He's young, soon turning 16. You were 16 years old when you won ESWC back in the days. Can you tell people how is it to win an event that young? You're suddenly becoming into sort of a stardom. People are now going to expect him to win. What is in store for Gwen now? He actually won his first major event, and that being ZrT with 140,000 viewers, basically.
Well, he has a lot of potential, and I knew it like at this first cup when he won that. So I knew he had a lot of potential. Now he just proved to everyone that he can beat the top players. So he'll be a great contender in the TMGL. But the thing is, he's really, really young, and he just has to stay the like as humble as possible that he could be. But it's difficult at that age. I was probably worse. So so yeah, I mean, he'll be at the top, and we'll just hope he'll be a really great contender for the rest of us. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are bringing up the topic, and that's sort of my job as well. Who do you think now maybe Gwen is like the new king of Trackmania? Do you still think that you are the favorite heading into Trackmania Grand League, that you are the defending champion of? How do you view the future of the top scene in the game?
Well, in TMGL, I still think Pac and Cap are the players to beat. So that won't change until it's really hard to tell because of the new game,
Yeah.
obviously. Like we don't know the maps yet. There might be some ice maps that we all suck at. So we'll see about that. But on paper, Cap and Pac are still my best players for me.
And then if you preview the next ZrT Cup, then hopefully that will actually take place in our Core Hotels Arena that was scheduled to take place this year. Do you think that you'll be more motivated next year simply because you didn't win it this year, that maybe you feel that, I don't know, something to prove again or just to win it again? Do you think that maybe once we come to May next year that you will have more motivation than you would have had if you just won it another year?
Yeah, I think so. Now I have an objective to take my revenge, to not only defend a title. So yeah, I have I wanna have my revenge, and I'll do everything I can to make it happen.
Yeah, we have spoken about it multiple times. You cannot retire unless you win the last event, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I cannot retire this year. I'll try to win maybe a TTC before retiring, but we'll see.
Maybe a Call Mini Juniors Cup or something like that. Or just the Riga Solar Cup again, right?
Just a tournament in Montreal that I'll be the only one, and I'll retire after that.
But all jokes aside, do you think if you just look at motivational picture for yourself, do you think having a new contender in Gwen or other people are going to help you stay motivated longer instead of maybe just winning and winning and winning?
I mean, it's from, I think it's changed in 2016 when Pac arrived before Kappa. Since then, it was never easy to win tournament. I'm not saying it was easy before them, but it's way harder now. So I don't think it makes a difference. It's just one harder opponent to beat. That's simple as that.
Do you think that I'm bringing up the Gwen question a lot now, or the topic? Are the media overhyping it, or the media? I'm essentially the only media member in Trackmania, but yeah.
Well, I don't think so. He won like the biggest tournament in the new game yet, so he deserves the credit for sure.
But then if you talk about the ZrT Cup in particular, it was record-breaking numbers for ZeratoR, 140,000 viewers at the peak. What can you say about the success that this cup actually achieved? Did you expect it to reach so high numbers just being online, or what did you expect?
Well, I had no idea what to expect. It's a new game. There's always some huge hype for that tournament, but it was online, so I don't know if it would have been taken seriously or not. But it was, and that's good. And I was actually more afraid about if the game will crash or not, if there will be some problems or not. In the end, it was, let's say, okay. It was fine.
Yeah, if you
Some
looked at
problems, but
yeah, because you were playing in the second semifinal, I guess you somewhat looked at the first semifinal with a spectating bug. What were you thinking then? Like, oh no, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. At the start, I was like, "Oh my God, Aurel is having some connection issues. It's terrible." But then he finishes first, and I'm like, "Oh no, no, not right now. Come on, Nadio." But yeah, I mean, let's be honest. It's good that Bercy was not this year.
Yeah, I also think so. Yeah.
So let's hope we'll have a solid game. Well, it's already really good. But let's hope like the bugs will be fixed for the official tournaments, and yeah. So we'll see about that.
And the final question for me, and now you had sort of the first major event in the new game taking place. Can you tell people what are you going to focus on in the upcoming weeks and months? Is it simply Trackmania Grand League, or what are your eyes looking at the moment?
No, I want to still keep on streaming, and I think playing TMGL is a bit boring on those endurance maps, and it's painful for the brain and the viewers, like it's hard maps and you have to be focused. So I think I'm gonna chill to play the solo, to try to host maybe a cup that I want to do with Bren and some other stuff as well, but it's more about chilling on stream.
What's more chill than a podcast, right? Invite me on the CarlJr podcast soon.
Exactly, but yeah, practice your French.
I will. If you invite me, I will. It will be like a 2-minute podcast, but yeah, we'll make it.
Je m'appelle Eirik.
Je m'appelle
Merci.
Eirik. Ah oui, oui, c'est parti.
All right, man. You might be hired soon.
Okay, soon. But thanks so much for stepping up, and I guess I can somewhat promise you a break from the upcoming Trackmania lives, but if you host a cup with Bren, then I mean, you're forcing yourself to come on again, right?
I will come then again.
Yeah, okay. But thanks so much for stepping up, and congrats once again on a strong achievement in the ZrT Trackmania Cup.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. But thanks so much for stepping up, and congrats.
Thank you.
Okay. So I guess that's the time to end it, and that's it for 7 interviews today. A lot of people in this chat, so today was really fun. I hope you enjoyed the interviews, even though I guess most of you actually will prefer it was in French. I tried to practice my French, at least now that CarlJr offered me to come on his podcast, but if you are new to this channel, feel free to press subscribe. I don't only cover the ZrT Trackmania Cup, I cover pretty much every Trackmania event the whole year, every week. Trackmania podcast, Trackmania lives, Let's Talk Trackmania, history videos, winner videos, etc., etc. So if you like Trackmania, this is the place to be. Feel free to press subscribe. Feel free to press like on this video. And yeah, you can follow me on Twitter as well if you don't do that. Eirik Holdal there. Soon 2,000 people are following me there. But it's been a long day, so it's time to end it. And so much fun having the chat so active today. S was the producer of this, so make sure to follow her as well. That's it, I guess. S, we can end it, right?